What is going on, everybody? This is your boy Drew here, and today I'm bringing you this 3v3 GB gameplay. That's not really the big main story of the video, but it's just want to explain what you guys are watching on top of the story I'm going to be explaining. So, the basis of this story is the time that I just got lost. It's a life story from probably approximately 2 weeks ago, and me and my buddy went to this place called the Nature Center. He doesn't really live around here, so just so happened he came out here and we wanted to hang out and just kind of, just do something. We decided to go walk the trails of the Nature Center, which they're probably connected between 4 or 5 different cities. All in all, these trails can run about 6, 7, maybe 7 to 10 miles depending on where you walk. And the main trail, which is around the Nature Center, it's only about 2-mile width radius from like there to like the end of the trail that will then starts to connect to the next trail after you reach this reservation park. So we're walking on the main trail and we just end up getting to like the end of the trail. Just, like, nothing really happens in between there, and we just kind of get bored, so we walk off the trail and we come to like this little chill spot, which my friends actually showed me before, so I knew where we were going at that point. And right after we were chilling there for a little bit, just kind of skipping rocks, just kind of chilling, just enjoying the weather. It was a really nice day, so we just decided to hang out. So after that, we decided to go back onto the trail and head towards the park, like the reservation park where you start onto the next trails. And we kind of got lost. We couldn't know where the actual park was because we found like a side trail on top of the main trail that we took that side trail just to kind of explore. And that side trail probably went a good, I would say, this is just an estimation, probably about 600 feet west when we were supposed to be east, so we're kind of not really nervous because we figured, okay, well, if we get lost, we just got to go east and we should find the main trail. So we just keep walking on this trail, and then the trail ends, but we keep walking, and now we're like in just straight woods, like leaves and shit. There's no trail. And as we're walking, we end up seeing a trail that goes more west and downhill. So my buddy decides, he said, okay, let's go down there, explore a little bit, and see where this takes us. Me being an idiot, I was like, yeah, let's do it, fuck it. We know how to get back, so it's not really a big deal. Oh, that was so stupid of me. So we decided to go down there. We're walking. This trail goes at least another approximate 500 to 1,000 feet west, and then takes a ginormous loop, like a big loop around. So basically walking in a complete circle, and goes the same direction back, just to lead us right through the trail that we just came from and downhill some more. So we went downhill more, and we decided, okay, so this isn't really a smart idea, might as well go back, right? We go back and start heading back, and it's not even like we traced our steps. We start heading back, and as soon as we get to like the intersection of the trail, we take a right, which is like coming the complete, basically retracing our steps without going the complete loop around. So we take a right, and we get to a main trail, and we go to the direction where it says to go, where it says trail closed, this direction to the park, to the reservation. And we go to the reservation, and it's not the same reservation. It's like 3 cities over. So at this point, we are probably, I would say, 3,500 to 5,500 feet away from the Nature Center. And it was pretty, I can't really say nerve-wracking or scary because I wasn't really scared. Like, it was only 11 o'clock in the morning, and I was having a lot of fun just walking the trails, even though it was pretty annoying to the fact that I didn't know where I was going. I don't really know how to explain it. But, so we just keep walking, and we find another trail inside this reservation. We went through the reservation and found another trail, and we found a map on the side of the trail. So we look at the map, and it says that we were, like, at this certain destination, and then it showed the Nature Center, and we did like the little map scale, and it said about 4,500 feet away. So we went on the trail and started heading. I think it was east, or it might have been north, that took the trail and wrapped it around east. So we go on this trail, and it's probably the longest trail I've ever walked in my entire life. Just straight woods, no side trails, nothing. At least for 25, 35, 40 minutes, just a straight trail. And then we come on to two cross trail, well, not two cross, but like one intersecting trail, and then the other trail that keeps going and then splits off into two. So we're like, okay, what do we do? So we take the left trail, the first intersection that leads us down to this place called the observation desk and etc. And it was called the Nature Center Trail. So we figured this is the trail to get to the Nature Center, and we were way off. I mean, it was taking us closer, but it wasn't really taking us to the Nature Center, so that's where we fucked up. So we go onto the observation or the Nature Center Trail, and as we're walking this trail, we come onto another intersection trail that as we take this trail, it leads us back to the same park that we were just at after we were just walking for 40 minutes. So we have to turn around and walk all the way back just to go on one of the paths that split. So as we're walking back to this trail intersection, we get to this trail where we see where it crosses both paths. We take the left one, which leads us more towards I would thought would been the Nature Center, which I was getting like a relief in my stomach. Oh yeah, like I've seen this place before. I feel like we're close. Not at all. Not even close. See, the main part about this is like I wasn't necessarily nervous up until the fact that when we so I'm trying to explain this perfectly. As we were walking this the left trail, I turned around to my friend and I asked him, I was like, okay, go onto your maps, your Google Maps. And I feel like if it wasn't for Google Maps, we would have never found our way back. And that's what's fucked up about this. Is as soon as I said go on Google Maps and search up the Nature Center and just tell me the direction that it says us to go. And obviously it's not going to give you an approximate right direction because of the fact that you're in the woods and it's not really a path, like an actual road, but I figured with the trail, maybe they would have the trails mapped out for the metro parks and we would be able to find our way. So as soon as he searches it, it shows a path off to the left, and there's no path to the left, not even like what would look like they made a path to the left. And we decided to just go left. We're like, fuck it. It tells us to go left. Let's just go left. And as we're walking, we just come upon a path. We come upon a path that's like at least 100 foot drop on both sides, right and left. It's probably the skinniest dirt path I've ever walked on, and that's what made me start getting nervous, is because I don't really like heights. I will do heights, but I don't like heights, and it's the last thing I want to do because I've never ever wanted to experience like falling down a far drop and that be the end of everything. And I don't know, I may sound like a bitch, and fuck it, you know? So we're walking along this, and it shows a straight path, that's all it shows. And as we're looking around, because we come to the end of the path, it's just all around us. We have to scale down this mountain. And my buddy straight says, I'm not doing it. I said, I'm not fucking doing it. So we turn around, and this is mainly because we had to cross a river, and the river had a big current, and we weren't going to cross, through probably not very deep, but probably about mid-shin, knee-deep river with a strong current that day that could possibly sweep us under, sweep our feet underneath us, and I mean, hit my head on a rock, and that could be over, you know? I don't want to do that. So we go back, and we still had to scale a mountain. Don't think that didn't happen. That's the fucked up part about everything. So we come back, and I see what looks like to be not a steep mountain, but it's a farther drop. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta go farther down the mountain to get there, but it's not as steep. So I'm like, okay, cool, we'll do this, I guess. You know, the only way to get there, it kept saying, was through the river. So I found this part where the river was like barely at mid sole on your shoe, at mid sole shoe. So I didn't really care. I was like, let's just do this, bro. I just want to get back to the car. I want to get home. I want to take a shower. Like, this shit has been annoying. This is probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. We got there at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we got lost at probably, when we figured out we were lost, it was about 12 when we officially wanted to turn around. So for, we're now another 2 hours. We were 2-3 hours. We were lost trying to find our way home. And whenever we go down this mountain, I figured scaling down the mountain wasn't really going to be like a scaling down the mountain, as if I was just going to be able to sit on my ass and slide. That's basically all I thought I was going to be able to do. No. So I had to get to this one route. I got to the one route. I sat my ass down on the route and just kind of get off. It was kind of a far drop where you had to actually drop down. And what you had to do was you had to slide down to this route. You had to drop down. It was probably like a not 2 foot, but like 4 foot drop. So as you slide off, your feet have to drop down. You have to get your stable footing. You have to get your footing stable, which you gotta, like, the mountain's still steep and it's wet. So you got a lot of leaves, a lot of wetland. It's not the easiest thing to grab your foot onto if you're not prepared for it. So as I'm doing that, I jump down and my feet slide from underneath me. But see, what you had to do is you had to grab onto the root that you sat onto, just in case that happens. So what I did was my feet came from underneath me, but I grabbed onto the root, and then I didn't know what to do at that point. I was just gonna sit down and slide with the leaves. At this point, I was like, fuck it. But my buddy told me that I was probably gonna hurt myself, so he's like, swing over to this root. He grabbed like a root and pulled it out of the dirt, and like used his weight to like prove to me that I wasn't gonna bust. So he tells me to swing over to that and keep my footing, and then slide down to this big tree, and then use that tree to drop down to the next slide, and just use this fallen down tree that we were going to use to begin with after we got to this point to slide down. So I do what he said. I swing over to the root, and my feet come from underneath me again. So I'm on my side, like, fuck, sitting there, and he says, just let go and slide to the tree. I got you if you slide down any farther. So I was like, fuck it. I slid down. I grabbed onto the tree. And from there, I just sat on my ass and slid down, used that fallen down tree to get to the bottom, and walked across the river. At this point, we found the actual main trail that we got lost off of to begin with, and we walked back and we found my car. It wasn't really an eventful story, but it was a pretty shitty story, following the fact that we shouldn't have got lost to begin with, because this guy said that he knew where he was going the entire time, so I believed him, and he failed me. So as always, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys leave a like on this video. Make sure you comment down below.